Hello everyone from another lecture of our multiplayer FPS course. In this lecture, we will create an indicator text that will be instantiated on the player after we hit. So first head to scene panel and create empty a game object. We will name it as damage text parent. And inside of this we will create a text mesh pro, but not now. We will drag and drop this into the prefabs folder and delete from the scene. Open it by double clicking on it, and now we will create a text, but not a normal text. In the 3D objects we will create a text mesh pro text. Make sure that you created it from the 3D objects, not from the UIs. And now we will name it as damage text, and we will change its text to our current damage. Our current damage is 25, so we will type 25 in the text part, and we'll set auto size and set the width and height as 0.5. Set the minimum to 1 in the auto size options, so the text will fit well, as you can see. And we will select outline and set the thickness as shown. You may just set it whatever you want, but I will set it as 0.2. It doesn't really matter. And another thing to do is that we are going to create an animation component in this game object in the damage text, not the parent, and open the animations panel, and we will name it as damage text anim. In the 0.45 seconds, select recording button, and we will make it a bit smaller at the end of the animation. Make the width and height as 0.25 and set the position Y as 0.3. And we will make the text fade, so set the color settings as shown as well for both the outline and the face, and record it. Select the recording button again, and as you can see, the animation is playing. When we shoot, this animation will play on the enemy. It looks well. You may just do it however you want, but I think this is okay for now. Now we will create a script called damage text script on the damage text game object in the child, and open the animation again and go to the 0.45 second of the animation and click that button. That's a button that helps us to create animation events. Type destroy text in the function. When the animation gets to 0.45 seconds, that function will be called on the script that is on the damage text game object. So drag and drop the animation to that field, and it will be play automatically. So when the animation gets to 0.45 seconds, we will be accessing that information, and the function will be called on this script. First, set the wrap mode to once. This is important. We don't want it to be loop. We just want it to run just one time. And what we did name it as destroy text. Copy that and paste it here. And I will create a comment next to it. I will comment call from animation event. You may write it or not, it doesn't matter. Now at the end of the animation we will destroy this text game object. And another function, public void get called. We will call this script from the fire script when we hit the player. We will set two parameters. One of them will be float damage underscore, and the other one will be game object camera. The reason we got camera is because we will make our text game object to face the camera so that we can see the text directly. not from the side of the text. And we will set the text of the text game object as damage. And we are going to use TM Pro, so above type using TM Pro. Here we will set a game object variable called camera. We will set our camera game object to the camera that we got from the getCode function. Camera go equals camera underscore that we got from the function. And we won't get a reference from the editor to use the TM Pro because the TM Pro is in the same game object as our script is, as you can see. So we will be accessing that TM Pro component using getComponent method. So type in tmp underscore text. We will be accessing our tmp text using this way. So dot text equals damage underscore. This is named as TextMesh Pro in the editor, but you can access it using tmp underscore text. Damage dot toString, it's a float value currently, and to use that in our text we have to convert it to string. So this will get the job done. And another thing is that we are going to create a late update function. Late update works after the update. We are moving our player in the update and we will face the camera in the text after we move. If camera geo not equals null, so a game object is assigned to the camera geo, we will face the camera, otherwise it will cause an error. We have a function called transform.lookAt. Normally it's not complicated, but we will write a code that is complicated, so it may confuse you if you get confused. So transform.position plus camera geo.rotation transform.rotation multiplied by vector 3 forward, comma, camera geo dot transform dot rotation multiplied by vector 3 up. This is a bit complicated, so if you get confused or if you don't understand right at first, don't worry, you will understand later. I didn't understand this code at first, but after time passed I understood. So it takes a time, don't worry. First we have to create the damage text parent game object and then call the function on it. So here we will get a serialized field reference to our game object, private game object damage text parent. We will first instantiate this game object on the hit position and then we will call the function on it. So after we get the access to player has script, we will instantiate the game object here. So instantiate, and it will be a variable game object, so we will type in game object new damage text parent. I will just write shorter. So what is the name of our game objects variable? Damage text parent. Where will we instantiate it? Hit dot point. What its rotation will be? Quaternion dot identity. And as you remember, the script is on the child game object, so we will be accessing it by get component in children. So we will call the function on the children game object. Damage text script, we will be accessing that script and dot get called. What are parameters? Damage, so 25, and we assigned our camera above, so camera. So we are instantiating it and then calling the function. We only want to instantiate the text game object if the player is alive. This way, if the player is not alive, we will still instantiate the game object and print the damage on it. So we will create a function public, not a function. Public float gets health on the health script. This will help us to return a float value. It has to be float, not void. Return health value. So we will be accessing from the fire script. So in the fire script we will get that value. If what's it player health script, so player health script dot get health. You have to put brackets there. I didn't put it now. If it's smaller or equal to 0, it will return, so won't work the rest of the code. As I said, put the brackets. So if you are dead, we will return. The rest of the code won't work. If you are alive, we will work those codes. So attach to Unity. And in the editor, make sure that it's once the web mode. And in the damage text parent, we will drag and drop our damage text parent. And make sure that you dragged animation to that field. So in the player, as I said, drag and drop damage text parent into that field. And now we will test the game. So build and run. I will join from the build as well. And when I shoot on the enemy, as you can see, the text is instantiated on the player and the animation is playing. As you can see, our code is working. So this was all for this lecture. See you on the next one.